You who are listening right now and desperately need help.
I don't know.
You who are listening right now and desperately need help. You who are listening right now and desperately need help. You've tried to make the best of it, but it just feels like too much right now. It's also for the one who is lonely, who feels like they aren't enough, or who's been praying for a miracle for so long that it seems impossible. This is for you. Welcome to the Comeback to Our Spring edition. We are so excited to be together this morning. We're going to be talking about parenting today. And I have to tell you, yesterday I was thinking about our time together and the topics we're going to cover. And I was recognizing that for the past year, I have been filling the role of pandemic cruise director for my family, like it's my job, right? Every day I'm checking in to make sure everybody's okay. I'm constantly planning fun activities for us to look forward to every week. And I'm running around like a mad woman, handling all the small details behind the scenes so no one else has to worry about it. Anyone else been a pandemic cruise director for your family? But I have to tell you, I actually have a lot of mom guilt about it because of how type A I've been the past year. And I was telling my friend about it, and she was saying that she actually has a lot of mom guilt for the opposite reason, because she's been super laid back about her parenting the past year and kind of let every day just come as it will and not worry too much about it. And she said she has mom guilt because she wished she was more intentional with her time. And it got me thinking, we all right now have some sort of mom guilt about how we've navigated the past year. And so today we're going to talk about it. But first, I want to introduce you to our social media manager, Chloe. Hey, Chloe.
Hey, Mandy. So this morning, between new baby, this is baby Karina. She's wearing a little Decide to Rise onesie.
So adorable. She's here, by the way.
She is. Dad's got her right now. Between her, a toddler, and a husband with weird work hours today, I'm feeling kind of like the scene from Elf, you know, where he's like, oh, how'd you sleep last night? Great, I got a full 40 minutes. So that's me today.
What we're functioning on right now. Okay, I do have a question for you. The past year, have you been more of a pandemic cruise director, or you are more laid back in your parenting style?
I think definitely laid back. My 2.5-year-old, we were really strict before all of this. Never let him watch TV, anything like that. This weekend was actually the first time I let him watch TV. Yeah. So my husband works every other weekend, so it's just us two then, and then me working from home with her, you know, so a lot of meetings, you know, I've learned to navigate, just tilt the screen up a little while I'm feeding her.
Yeah.
So a lot of time in her play gym, not as much reading as I did with the first one. So
that's how it goes. Yeah. It's totally okay. But last night you did do a poll on our social media. Will you tell us a little bit about that and the results?
Yeah, so we asked, have you ever experienced mom guilt? Definitely or never. And the results, we figured, you know, that it would be a lot of people would do never, almost no one would do never. And we were exactly right. It was actually 100% of people said definitely that they've experienced mom guilt. So that was just kind of crazy to see out of all of your responses. If you still want to go respond, it's up on our Instagram and Facebook stories. So just seeing that was just kind of, you know, we're all in this together, like we keep saying. And we've said it once and we'll say it again, you know, mom guilt is a sham.
Yes.
If you want to look at our blog, we actually have an article that Leanna wrote for us related to this comeback tour, and she talks more about her experience with mom guilt. And I think that's a really great read if anyone wants to dive more into that.
Awesome. So this morning, we are going to reframe the narrative around mom guilt and talk exactly about what Chloe just said, how it's a sham. But first, we're doing a giveaway because we all love a good giveaway. And so I have some fun merch from the MOPS store that I am going to give away this morning. Super cute t-shirt with MOPS Mama on it. Decide to Rise t-shirt. So fun. We've got this awesome bag. We all need a good bag. And a hat. And so if you tag a friend who's not in MOPS this morning, you will be entered to win one of these super cool items. And just so you know, if you're watching on the replay, we are keeping this giveaway open for the next 24 hours. So you can still get in on it. And our team will be looking through the comments and sending out the merch 24 hours from now, so you'll get it this week. All right, we're doing something fun this spring. Every MOPS comeback tour, we are gonna highlight a MOPS group. And today we have a MOPS group from Utah. Before we go over to them though, I wanna say, if you want your group to be highlighted, comment on where you're located and the name of your group, and we'll get in contact with you. So now we're gonna head to Utah and check in with Melanie, who is there. Hey, Melanie.
Hello.
Hey, so we heard it's a snow day there.
It's a snow day here. I'm in northern Utah. It's been a little bit of a white weather. If I could pan over and show you the winter wonderland I'm living in right now, it's gorgeous, but the roads are so slick. So kids are home. They've got iPads right now, and I'm like in my kitchen, literally with coffee, chatting with Mandy. So this is awesome to me. I'm not going to lie. It's all business on top, but it's pajamas on the bottom.
Nice.
Snow day.
That's so great. And you are going to have some friends join you, but it's a snow day and we don't want anyone out on the roads. So we're really thrilled we get to talk with you, and the kids are in the back room. And so I have a question for you. We all know that mothering is a team sport, and some of the best ideas that I've implemented with my kids have come from other moms. So will you tell me maybe top 3 mom hacks that your group has learned over the course of the year?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I'm the coordinator for Clearfield Community MOPS in Clearfield, Utah, and we have moms that come from all over in a 15-minute range, but that includes an air base. So we have a lot of different moms. So mom hacks can be everything from how we pack to how we manage just daily life and in the snow. So for our group, it's been different for everybody. But I would say, to answer your question, number 1, no matter who you are, where you come from, or how hot of a mess you are, every mom needs love at all times in all different ways. So for some of our moms, it has been meals. For some of our moms, it's been checking in, literally endless text messages. And some of them, it's just trying to say, hey, how are you? So that's been huge, showing love and being love with distance and safety and doing what we can. The second thing I would say is, as long as there are masks, sanitizer, and tender loving care, MOPS moms are always willing to hold a new baby, no matter what, so that that new mom can enjoy her food while it's still warm. And we just pass the sanitizer, we get all ready, we're like, give me that baby, because that fact that that mom made it and she's there to have that warm meal with us. I mean, granted, she might be a few feet away, we're like, give me the baby, you can eat. And that is a hack in itself at all times. But even now, that mom is truly blessed because she's been in quarantine, right? Or been home for so long. So, and the last hack I would say in general for our group, we were doing virtual up until just around Christmas time, and then we're like, okay, we can be in person. Let's see how we're doing this. We have plastic tablecloths. We can order a catered salad and pick it up. We can have sanitizer. We can have masks. We can have all the things plus a supportive host church. We are so thankful for Clearfield Community Church. And we also have moms who want to show up, right? Who can show up. Then it makes all the difference. So for us, it's been a difference of having those things in place, but having moms who are like, yeah, let's make this happen. I want to be here. I want to throw the kids at the husband and say, good luck with the donuts. I'm going to MOPS. And just have that excitement. It makes a more personal MOPS experience, and while also being able to have that close relationship in sisterhood and really keep the eye on Jesus and what we're there to do, and, you know, just come together. So that's what's been really, it's a lot, but it's been really good.
So good. I liked your full body hand sanitizer that you mimicked. That was really.
Yes, because the baby, you know,
Right.
I mean, it's
Cover
all the things. Yes.
Yeah.
Cover all of it.
Okay, I've heard you have a question for me, so lay it on me.
I do. Okay, here we go. So we are one of 4 MOPS chapters, groups in the state of Utah. With all the changes this past year, we've really decided to rise, really rise, including how MOPS meetings can happen without childcare. Can't have that with super, big restrictions, with smaller group, also reaching out to those who maybe can't come in person. So many changes in our steering team, XYZ, et cetera, et cetera. We know we're not alone in this. We're not alone in any of these areas. So Miss Mandy, what are your best tips or best ideas to help a MOPS group, maybe like ours or in similar situations, continue to rise above all these hardships, struggles, trials, and with happiness and and still steer the way to what we're supposed to be doing? But, how can we just fuel that fire?
I feel like you guys have done such a good job, even what you shared already, but I have 3 quick ideas. I think this year we've all had to reset our definition of success, and exactly what you said, right? It's not perfect table arrangements and having a live speaker and all the things that normally would have meant a really successful MOPS year. I think we need to redefine what success is by saying, are relationships going deeper? Are we able to have honest conversations? Are we building community and having meaningful interaction? And however that looks, that's great. And letting the expectations kind of fall away of what good leadership looks like. And if it means that it's too much to host a meeting and instead you need to have everyone watch the comeback tour and then Zoom and talk about it, that is totally okay too. Second idea, I think we need to get creative in how we care for each other. So I heard of a group who sent an email asking all their moms what their biggest need was. And it was kind of funny, but all the moms said that their kids are eating them out of house and home because they're snacking all day long. And so the leaders went to Costco, got a ton of snacks, and made snack boxes that they dropped off at each MOPS member's house. And it was like the best thing because the kids were so excited and the moms felt seen and cared for. So I just think those small creative things we can do really build community. And then last, and this is a little weird, but I'm hearing so many moms who cannot wait to get back to their MOPS group. And so I would say, get ready for fall. Finish well now, but start thinking and planning for fall, because when things open up, moms are gonna need MOPS and community and each other more than ever. And I think our doors are gonna be flooded with women who need support. So get ready for fall. Woo! It's been so fun to connect with you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hand sanitizer.
Roll up my sleeves.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for highlighting us. It was a joy.
Stay warm.
Thank you.
We'll see ya. Okay, Chloe, we're gonna check back in. How are we doing on the polling?
Yeah, so after we asked how many of you actually experienced mom guilt, and 100% said definitely, we asked how often do you experience mom guilt, and between on occasion and daily, and more than half of you said that daily you experience this mom guilt. So, the numbers are just crazy, and that we're all feeling the same way. Research has actually shown, though, that this mom guilt is obviously not healthy for anyone, and when you feel this way, it doesn't actually change your future behavior for any good way. It actually instead gives more power to the part of the brain that seeks gratification. Wanting to quit is often tied to these feelings of mom guilt. But research says that to help this, it actually helps if, the mom is felt valued, and that's what we really need.
Awesome. And I'm glad science backs up. Mom guilt's a sham.
Yep.
So good. Thanks,
Yep.
Chloe. All right, now I have the privilege of introducing our first speaker of the day, Heather Avis, our friend. She is the founder and Chief Visionary Officer of The Lucky Few, a social brand with an emphasis on shifting the Down syndrome narrative. She's an author, a podcaster, a speaker, and a mom of 3. So join me in the comments in welcoming Heather Avis.
Thank you so much, Mandy. Thank you to MOPS and to all you mamas who are allowing me to spend a little bit of time with you today. It is an absolute honor and thrill. So I am Heather Avis. I am the founder of a nonprofit called The Lucky Few. The Lucky Few is a global social awareness movement using the power of storytelling to shift the Down syndrome narrative and create spaces where everyone belongs. I'm also an author. I've written a couple of books. My first book is a memoir called The Lucky Few, about how my family came to be. My second book is called Scoot Over and Make Some Room, which is more of a manifesto encouraging us to make room in our lives for all different kinds of people. And then I actually have the thrill of this year in June having my very first children's book published. It's called Different, A Great Thing to Be. And it's a book that's teaching our children, and to be honest, us, how to embrace and celebrate the differences we see in ourselves and in others. I'm also a mom. I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter, Mason, is 12. My middle daughter, Truly, is 9. And my son, August, is 7. I've also been married to my husband for 19 years this year. My husband, Joshua Douglas Avis, he is my co-everything. We co-parent, we co-do all the things that are involved in household. He is co-founder of The Lucky Few. He is my co-worker and many more things. And today, the thing that I want to share with you and the thing that I want to say to you is, mom, dear mom out there listening, you are enough, and your kid or your kids are also enough. I am here today to lay for you a foundation of enoughness. But first, and why I felt it was important to share with you a little bit more about me, because it's important for us to no longer be strangers, because I'm going to jump in by asking you to answer a question honestly, a question that's pretty personal. And the question is this: when was the last time that you feel like you failed as a mom? Yikes, right? Okay, I'm going to go first. Today, as in just like a few hours ago. Today, as in I actually had a different talk planned, and then I switched things up based on my failure earlier today, because I really feel like the Lord has something else for us as we share some time together here. Let me set the stage, all right? So a few hours ago, 6th grade, 4th grade, and 1st grade were all taking place in my home. Not because I homeschool my kids, but because we are all doing school virtually still. We are doing distance learning still. We have all school year. God bless us and all of us who are part of distance learning. So the thing about distance learning is it is not working. This is a talk for another time, but it is one of the reasons it is not working in our home and in our lives is because 2 of my kids have Down syndrome. My oldest daughter, Macy, who is 12, and my son, August, who is 7, both have Down syndrome, which means that they need supports in place for them to do well in an educational setting that they absolutely cannot get through distance learning. It is not possible. So this year has felt completely pointless, just to be honest, completely pointless for my kids who have Down syndrome in school. And in fact, I've actually seen them digress over the past year, which has been completely crushing for me as their mom. So you may be asking, why not put them in homeschool? Well, it's complicated. One of the reasons, my husband and I run a business from home, but there's also a lot of nuance there. And it is this very type of question that led me to feel as though I failed my kids. All right, so today, as I toggled between the dining room and the living room and the kitchen, jumping in to support 1st grade reading, 4th grade division, and 6th grade, noticing the difference between an animal cell and a plant cell or something like that in 6th grade. I had a moment in which I could just see crystal clear how far behind my 6th grade daughter is falling. And I watched her struggle, and I watched her totally shut down, and I thought, why? Why? Like that big why, but the why of like, why isn't she? Why isn't she able to show up? Why isn't she trying harder? Why isn't she getting this? Why isn't she even just doing her best? Why isn't she? And then for me, why am I not? Why am I not pulling her out and homeschooling her? Why have I let her go this long, failing in a system that doesn't work for her, which is distance learning? Why haven't I gotten her tutors? Why am I not doing more homework with her at the end of the day? Why am I not fill in the blank? I watched my daughter failing at 6th grade academics, and I began to question my inadequacies as her mom and her worth as a 6th grade student. I sat in defeat watching my 12-year-old struggle to read basic kinder sight words, and it made me question my enoughness and hers. What am I talking about when I say enoughness? What is it that I'm talking about? When I am speaking about one's enoughness, about my daughter's, mine, yours, anybody's, I am referring to the intrinsic worth and value found in being a human being. Period. Full stop. I am talking about Genesis 1:27, when we read how we are created as image bearers of God, as people who are made in the image of God. Not if we do or when we are, but period, full stop. I am talking about Psalms 139, when we learn of a God who knit us together in our mother's womb with pleasure, who made us fearfully and wonderfully. Not fearfully and wonderfully if or when or then, but fearfully and wonderfully, period, full stop. This enoughness that I'm talking about, it is me looking at my 12-year-old struggling with school, knowing that she is enough. Not if she can read better, or if she can tell the difference between an animal or a plant cell, or if she's doing well in school or not. She is enough, period, full stop. This enoughness I'm talking about is me looking in the mirror knowing I am enough. I am enough as my child's mother, whether or not she does good in school, whether or not I homeschool her. I'm enough whether I make wild-caught Alaskan salmon for dinner or a box of mac and cheese, right? You know who you are, mama. The truth is, none of us need to do or be anything more than the precious creation and image bearer of God that we already are in order to embrace our enoughness. The foundation of enoughness is you. You are enough. Period, full stop. But as it goes with so much in life, this truth of our enoughness and the enoughness of others, which is found in the very fabric of our being, it is so much easier to know it and believe it than it is to live it out. And to that, add to that the fact that being a mom is the hardest freaking gig in the whole wide world. And being a mom right now, when we have things like social media and Pinterest, which sure we can go to for ideas and advice, but let's be honest, when we go there, we go and find comparison and self-doubt. It is no wonder the enoughness in ourselves, in our kids, in others is always in question. One of the greatest works I have done as a parent is to lay this foundation of enoughness. And I know laying a foundation of enoughness in our home, with ourselves, with our kids, when we with the children we raise, can be challenging because it is constantly being shaken up by things like comparison, societal norms, self-doubt, the expectations of others, which is why it needs to be foundational. It is not a moment in our day, but rather a necessary truth we must lay as a strong foundation from which we can grow and raise our children in. So, I want to give you a couple of very simple tools to help you begin to build a foundation of enoughness in your own lives. A few steps to embrace enoughness for you. So 1, Stop comparing. Stop comparing. Stop comparing. Just stop. Stop doing it. I'm saying this to myself as well. Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of all joy, and isn't that the truth? Comparison is going to have us questioning the person God created us to be. So we have to work hard at stopping comparison. Number 2, ask yourself, how does God see me? How does God see my kids? And how does God see others? Because God sees them as God sees himself. Because we are image bearers of God. God's image is in all of us, which means God sees you, your kids, and others as enough. Because you are and because they are. So we have an opportunity to see them as enough as well. 3, find a community to hold you accountable. Maybe there's a mom right now in the screen next to you or sitting next to you who you can text every day, 10 times a day, 3 simple words. You are enough. And then she can text those words right back to you. And in that same, going along that same line, also another way is to say it out loud often to yourself and to your kids. The words, you are enough. When you compare your parenting journey and your child's development to others, because truth be told, we will do it, right? So we're going to try to stop comparing, but it will happen. You need to be able to go back to this truth of you are enough. So by saying it out loud, it helps strengthen that foundation. The more you practice this, the easier it will be to come back to. We live in a world in which we are bombarded with ways to improve as parents, ways for our kids to improve. So even with the foundation in place, it's easy to lose sight of the enoughness in ourselves, in our kids, and in others, which is exactly what happened to me today while my daughter was doing 6th grade science. But when we instill the truth of our God-ordained enoughness in each person, and we make that a foundation in our lives and in our home, it's easy to go back to it when we do go astray. And in doing so, we have an opportunity to connect more fully to the heart of God. So dear mom, I'll close with this. You are enough.
Hey mamas, I'm Sarah Ferraro joining you from California. Heather, I absolutely love when you said motherhood is the hardest freaking gig in the whole wide world. I'm a mama 3, so I understand all the joys and challenges that come our way. And none of us should ever do it alone, which is exactly why I am so passionate about MOPS and membership. I know I work for MOPS, but I am also a leader and I attend a local group. And when I'm able to sit at my table and be vulnerable and share my struggles, the thing that is the best thing for my mom's soul is when I hear the simple words of me too. I know that I'm not alone in my struggles and my failures, and I am surrounded by a sisterhood that understands. So membership is the very thing that fuels this beautiful community that I'm talking about. And it doesn't just stop at our groups. When you're a member, you are truly a part of a worldwide sisterhood. Now, I know we all want to hear those Me Too's, but none of us want to be stuck in that hardship, right? We're talking a lot about mom guilt today. We desire to learn and grow and be propelled forward to be the best moms that we can be. Membership helps us do that in the day-to-day. It helps fill in those gaps, especially if you're not in a group. You'll get mom emails that hit practical and inspiring content. You'll get texts that I'm sure will cheer you on, especially when that mom guilt is really starting to set in. We have digital content that connects you with experts that cover anything from sex and marriage to anxiety, potty training, to Saturday family activities. And one of my favorite benefits that is beautiful is our quarterly print magazine. Now, this is one of our older issues, but I know that our newest issue is starting to hit doorsteps. So if you're a current member, be on the lookout and get very excited. Also, I'm thrilled to let you guys know that we have started to launch membership tiers. So there's additional benefits that we've created as well, such as digital bundles, topic-based workshops, one of which, you guys, it's coming up February 25th. You can join us for a 1-hour introduction to understanding the Enneagram as a tool that helps us uncover the unique person that God created us to be. So check that out. You can go to mops.org/membership and see all of the fabulous new offerings. One, which I know you can't really see, but I'm wearing one. And it's a t-shirt that says busy raising the next generation, because that is truly what we are doing. If you're already a member, you can upgrade at any time. So moms, I want to thank you for supporting us through membership. I guarantee you're going to love everything that comes your way. We're truly committed to continuously finding new and innovative ways to continue to support you through this journey, right? This freaking hard gig, which is so wonderful, but we have to do it together as we truly are busy raising the next generation. So cheers to motherhood, you guys. Mandy, back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. It's so cool that we have women joining us from literally all over the world. Sarah's joining us from California, and now I have some friends joining us from Tennessee. I am so thrilled to get to introduce my friends, JJ and Dave Heller. Hey, guys. Hey, I noticed your wallpaper, and I just have to mention it because it's noteworthy. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually peel and stick wallpaper from Target.
What? You have the best decorating tips. Yeah, totally mind blown. So many of you already know JJ and Dave. They've joined us at MomCon, but just in case you don't know, let me fill you in. JJ is a singer, songwriter, podcaster, author, mom of 2 girls, and she and Dave co-write songs together. In her 18-year career, JJ has 11 full-length albums to her name, and her songs have been streamed 55 million times. That's quite an accomplishment. So I'm so thrilled that they're here with us today. And I have a question for you guys. I'm curious how you, over the past year, have maybe incorporated certain things into your family to help your kids thrive. Any particular things you've done?
Okay, so I have realized that if there are any ways to spark little moments of joy, those are worth pursuing. So one of the ways that I've figured out how to do that is to make a really fun playlist on Spotify, or find one that you enjoy, and like put it on, and it doesn't even matter what we're doing. Like maybe I'm emptying the dishwasher or getting dinner ready, or we're just hanging out, but something that makes you feel like you want to dance, and then dance. Like I'm the worst dancer, like I'm terrible, but my kids actually still think that I'm pretty good.
I'd like to
So
see
we're
some
right
of your
away.
moves, I feel like.
Oh no, you don't. But it's like I've just found it so important that my kids see the playful side of me, because you know, so often as parents we're like the referee, we're the cleanup crew, we're the caterers, we're the cruise directors, as you said earlier. And I think sometimes we forget to have fun. And I think if our kids see us being serious all the time, maybe it makes them feel less free to be playful themselves. And so I've been like really conscious of just finding moments to be silly and weird. And
you're really good at that.
so even, okay, last night, like everybody knows this game. Like I think we all did it when we were kids. But you know that game that you say, honey, if you love me, will you give me a smile? And then you have to answer, honey, I love you, but I just can't smile, like without smiling. And I don't even know why it came up last night at dinner, but we started playing it, and I was like crying, laughing. Like it was just so ridiculous.
I think our girls actually had a better time at the dinner table last night than they did when we took them to Disney World. It's like cost of admission is 0, but they had a really great time.
Oh, I love that you said our kids need to see us having fun because so often they see us in different roles. That is so essential. And I know you guys have been really busy lately. What have you been working on?
Okay, so February 5th, we just released a brand new record called I Dream of You Volume 3. It's a lullaby album, but it's not what you think of when you think of lullabies. We wanted to make it sophisticated, almost like a movie soundtrack. And it's actually, I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually like a lullaby album for grown-ups. They're just all these songs that we grew up listening to, all of our favorite love songs, like In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. 500 Miles we turned into a love song somehow. And that one is the most surprising to me. Like it makes me get teary-eyed every time, which you don't think of, like, when I wake up, yeah, I know I'm gonna be, as like,
She doesn't sing
you know,
it like
I
that.
Like a sea shanty.
Yes. Yeah. But when you slow down the lyrics, it's so sweet. I mean, it's a song about like faithful love, and
Yes.
so it's just, I'm so excited that it's out in the world, and people have been telling us that it's changing the mood in their home, and it's giving them a reason to smile and making them feel nostalgic. So that's super exciting. But we also have a big announcement today. Nobody knows about this, but we have been working on a children's book, and today we're going to announce it and reveal the cover. It's called Hand to Hold, and it's based on our song called Hand to Hold. And I think you might have the image of it. Maybe.
We do. Matt's working on
Share.
pulling it up. So I'm going to ask you another question while he does that. You guys have been so productive and done so much and have so many projects launching. What ideas do you have for those of us who are working at home, schooling at home, and feel like we get to the end of the day and haven't done the things that we most needed to do? What rhythms do you guys have? Do you have had any family traditions or anything that you have in place that make your days run smoother?
There aren't very many rhythms right now. So currently, I can relate to that other mama because our 2 children are down in our bedroom with our dog so that he doesn't like run out and bark, and they're like on their iPads while we're doing this because it's a snow day here in Tennessee as well. It's like been freakishly cold and icy here, and so school has been closed all week and probably will be closed for the rest of the week. And so, I mean, I think in terms of rhythms, we try to spend time in the mornings together with like no screens, and just hang out. And then we always try to eat dinner together and like talk about how our days have gone. Sometimes we play Honey, I Love You, Give Me a Smile.
I think, though, one of the things that we actually really try to do at least once a day is just step outside our front door with our kids and go for a walk around the block. And it like, there is this sort of inertia where the kids don't want to leave. But I mean, it's kind of that thing where like you're trying to give your kid a bath and they're like, I don't want to go. And then they're in the bath and they're like, I don't want to get out. You know, like that kind of thing. It's like as soon as they step out the front door, they start skipping and noticing flowers and like picking up worms and just exploring the wonder that is like the little microcosm of biology, or looking at like the clouds or whatever. And I think when it comes to fostering creativity and wonder in your life, so much of the time it just comes down to doing something simple and paying attention rather than kind of being outside of your body and thinking about whatever the next thing is that's going to happen. And like, so I feel like the Heller family has been just trying very hard to practice presence and being inside our bodies, noticing whatever it is that's right in front of us.
That's so good. And I find for myself, even going outside for a little bit is so recalibrating. All right, we want to show the cover of JJ's new book, Hand to Holds. There it is. Hey, you guys, when can people start pre-ordering it?
Okay, they can start pre-ordering it today.
Woo!
Yes, we actually have links to all of the retailers who are taking pre-orders for it at jjheller.com, and you can find it at either at the homepage or just jjheller.com/book. And
But
yeah,
I mean, you have to wait a little while though, because it comes out on July 20th.
well, but the pre-order can happen today.
Yes, the pre-order can happen now, but you have to wait to get it.
It'll be like Christmas in July when it arrives.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
so
will
we
you
all need
tell us
something to
the
look forward to.
story? I know you have a new song, Hand to Hold, that goes along with the book. Tell us the story behind the song.
Okay, well, a couple years ago, we took a family vacation to Disney World, and it's like, this big thing, and we were so excited about it. And we get there, and we realize that our older daughter, Lucy, who's now 12, wanted to go on different rides than our younger daughter, Nora, who is 9. And so we tried to do stuff like the four of us together and decided that it wasn't working out that well. And so we thought, okay, let's split up. Dave will go with Nora, I'll go with Lucy, and we'll let them kind of like lead the ship. And so Dave and Nora left, and Lucy and I stayed behind, and I turned to Lucy and I said, okay, what do you want to do? Like, what ride do you want to go on? And she kind of looked all around at the magic that surrounds at Disney, and she's like, can we just play a hand clap game? I was like, oh, child, you're killing me. Like, I mean, I didn't say this out loud, but thinking like, okay, so we just spent like hundreds of dollars to be here. You want to play a hand clap game? And so in the moment, I was like, okay, and we did the hand clap game. And I was thinking about it later, and how, even though I was frustrated in the moment, it's really this beautiful thing that kids are so good at just being present and finding the beauty wherever they are. And I think sometimes as adults, we forget that sense of wonder is always surrounding us if we take time to notice it. And kids just have this inherent sense, and they notice like a wrapper on the ground like that looks like a butterfly, or and as adults sometimes we feel like we have to plan these big elaborate events so that we can finally relax or have a time to enjoy our family. And I think that's something, when we sat down to write a song of blessing for our children, we were thinking about like, okay, what do we want for them? And that was one of the first things on the list, was like, may you never lose the wonder in your soul. And so that was, a big part of the song. And then we turned that song into a book.
So great. Would you guys play that song for us today?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yay. And anyone listening, you might want to turn up your volume.
Yes, I'm a quiet singer.
Oh, hang on just a second.
Aim the microphone.
There we go.
Okay, and I almost always cry when I sing this song, so we'll see if I can make it through. Trees are made for climbing, days are made for sun, puddles are for jumping, fields are made to run, stars are made for counting, and for wishes coming true. Sleep is made for dreaming, and I have dreams for you. May you never lose the wonder in your soul. May you always have a blanket for the cold. the living light inside you be the compass as you go. May you always know you have my hand to hold. Stones are made for skipping, stories made to tell. Life is made for living. I pray you live it well. Learning comes from trying, so don't be afraid to lose. Songs are made for singing. I'll sing this one for you. May you never lose the wonder in your soul. May you always have a blanket for the cold. May the living light inside you be the compass as you go. May you always know you have my hand to hold. May the good Lord bless and keep you, fill you with his peace. His face will shine upon you, even as you sleep. Every day you're changing, sometimes I wish it wasn't true. Hearts are made for giving, I've given mine to you. May you never lose the wonder in your soul. May you always have a blanket for the cold. May the living light inside you be the compass as you go. May you always know you have my hand to hold. May you always know you have my hand to hold.
You guys, that is so beautiful. I cannot wait to read the book. Thank you so much. JJ and Dave are going to close us with one more song in just a second. But before we do that, I want to leave you with a blessing to cover your week. And so here we go. God, this week, may you fortify the moms. Where there's a lack of energy or patience or money or perspective, provide plenty. And for the ones who don't feel like they're enough, remind them today that all is well because they are loved just as they are, no matter what. And for the moms who are facing an impossible situation or an impossibly trying kid, would you swoop in and show them that you are a God who can turn things around at a moment's notice. Give us moms the supernatural insight to know what our kids need on a soul level so that they can feel whole and loved as well. And where there are hurts or regret that are too tender to even say out loud, may healing come in wave after wave of relief and freedom. And in the morning, wake us up with joy. In the evenings, provide 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep so that we can show up in the world with so much love, forgiveness, kindness, and fun that our families rise up and call us blessed. Amen. Let it be so.
Amen. I think as moms, we do put so much pressure on ourselves. I think our expectations for ourselves are so much higher than the expectations our kids have of us. I think if they come into the room and our eyes light up in their presence, I think that means being a good mom. If they're hungry and we feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think that's being a good mom. So we want to leave you with this song called A Mother Like You. You gave me a drawer in your kitchen gave me the room with a view of the yard. Whatever the hurt, you knew right where to kiss it. You gave me the best of your heart. And you carried my rocks in your pocket. Flowers and feathers and butterfly wings. You had an answer for all of my questions. You showed me wonderful things. I know that it hasn't been easy. I hope that I love like you do, 'cause I know that this world would be better if everyone had a mother like you. You make the best macaroni. We never cared that it came from a box. The mom in the stands, always clapping her hands, started cheering and still haven't stopped. And you held me when I came home crying, 'cause someone said something that just wasn't true. I always said that Janelle was my best friend, but really, it's always been you. I know that I haven't been easy. I hope that I love like you do, 'cause I know that this world would be better if everyone had a mother like you. A mother like you. Our second was born in September. I still can't believe I have kids of my own. I look in their eyes and I can't help but wonder, who will they be when they're grown? I know it won't always be easy. I hope that I love like you do, 'cause I know that my kids will be better if they have a mother like you. If I am a mother like you, 'cause I had a mother like you.
Thank you so much, JJ and Dave. That was gorgeous. And a big thank you to Heather Avis as well for joining us. Make sure to mark on your calendars March 10th, which is when we're coming back with our next session of the Comeback Tour. We'll see you then.